A new day begins. But Tae Kyung's friend wakes up disoriented. He slept on the floor, and Tae Kyung is gone. Where could he be? His eyes fall upon the strange capsule in the corner. A single push reveals the unbelievable truth. He tries to rouse the deeply sleeping Tae Kyung. Removing the helmet, he tries again. But it seems only one thing can truly wake him. He awakens, disoriented, to find himself surrounded by the destruction he caused. But his shock turns to disbelief. 2 whole levels, all his skills ranked up. And the rewards didn't stop there. He'd even gained a new item. The endless training, the agonizing pain, it was all worth it. Wasting no time, he poured the new points into strength and stamina. With a ravenous grin, he gripped his spear. This taste of power was not enough. He would push himself to the absolute limit. His thoughts drift to his rival, Hyuk-Mujin. But he knows he's not ready. Not yet. He refocuses, but the system presents an unexpected opportunity. A new training mode, allowing him to summon past opponents. And just like that, he appears. The sight leaves him utterly stunned. He cautiously circles the illusion, a perfect, intangible copy. But then, the system offers him another advantage. He can alter the summoned opponent's strength. He sets the illusion to half power. Even weakened, that arrogant glare remains. Time to begin. An illusion of his rival appeared, wearing that same mocking grin. Without a moment's hesitation, Tae Kyung lunged. The first blow landed with a brutal crack. He spun into another strike, a relentless assault. The illusion stumbled, completely caught off guard. Tae Kyung unleashed a storm of inescapable thrusts. There was nowhere to run. A final, crushing blow found its mark. But it was over too quickly. It was too easy. The once feared rival was defeated in an instant. Was 50% strength really this weak? Confident, Tae Kyung calls for the ultimate challenge, Hyuk-Mujin at his full power. The illusion materializes, its aura suffocating. A blinding flash, and it's over. But as one battle ends, another is about to begin. Uninvited guests arrive at the gates of the Jin family. They are stopped, but their presence feels heavy. The guard immediately senses the danger. Armed and silent, they are not here for pleasantries. He demands to know their purpose. The only reply is a cold, menacing grin. At Mount Hang, uninvited guests have arrived. Using a dark art, their leader peers into the estate. But what he finds is not what he expected. Meanwhile, Tae Kyung faces a different kind of puzzle. Even at 100% power, the illusion of his rival is nothing. This easy victory makes no sense. He shouldn't be this strong. He wonders if the simulation is flawed, perhaps the weapon is wrong. And then, a dangerous idea takes root. What if he gave his rival, the Jin family's own legendary techniques? The illusion is enhanced, now armed with the Jin family's own legendary spear and foot techniques. With this, the fight would be truly fair. The illusion of Hyuk-Mujin takes its stance, crackling with newfound power. But even as a perfect opponent, that face still infuriates him. With a grin, he readies himself. This time, the battle will be real. The illusion of Hyuk-Mujin attacks. He mirrors Tae Kyung's own techniques, forcing him onto the back foot. The Black Dragon spear art, an overwhelming assault. The Phantom Warrior roars, radiating immense power. Tae Kyung is defeated. The illusion fades away. But the grueling battle was not without its rewards. A sudden surge of power. His techniques have reached a new level of mastery. He's now level 14, with strength to spare. All his new power is poured into one stat: agility. He clenches his fist. Soon, he will be strong enough to hunt far greater prey. His heart aches for his family. He renews his vow to return. But his emotional cry is cut short by a sudden sound. The training ground doors are opening. Unexpected visitors arrive, their faces lit by torchlight. 5 days have passed. His isolation is over. He is told he's free to leave, sooner than expected. But his freedom comes with a condition: he is being summoned. The lesser family head awaits him, along with members of the main family and the Mount Hang's sword sect. A heavy hand stops him cold. The man's gaze is piercing, his voice laced with menace. He demands one thing: the truth. After a long, weary sigh, the trap is sprung. A vile accusation hangs in the air. Tae Kyung's world shatters. The sins of his past have finally caught up to him. The interrogator turns his back, judgment already passed. But Tae Kyung refuses to accept this fate. He scrambles forward, desperately pleading his innocence. His pleas for innocence are met with cold disbelief. Tae Kyung insists he is not the man he used to be. But the interrogator doesn't care. To him, he is simply guilty. The blunt response leaves him speechless. Panic sets in. His mind screams to run. But a chilling reminder stops him dead. The lesser family head has faith in him. There is no escape. He is escorted towards the main hall. The doors to his judgment swing open. Before him sits the council, their eyes cold and unforgiving. The trial has begun. Tae Kyung is brought before the family council. The elders stare him down, their faces carved from stone. At the head of the hall, the patriarch waits. The silence is crushing. He takes a single, determined step forward. The long walk to judgment begins. But as he approaches, an overwhelming bloodlust suddenly erupts. He recoils on pure instinct as a mocking voice echoes in the hall. Stunned, he demands to know who attacked him. The source reveals himself, another young master, Lee Seo-jun, furious at being forgotten. But the killing intent simply vanished. The aggressor was now the one in shock. The accusations begin. Tae Kyung is accused of visiting a notorious brothel. The council listens in disgust. The family's honor is on the line. But Seo-jin isn't finished. He has proof. He presents a stack of signed testimonies, certain it will seal Tae Kyung's fate. Tae Kyung freezes. His plan to beg for mercy is now shattered. He thought he could talk his way out, but they have evidence. He is trapped. The testimonies speak of a master jinn, a drunken rage, and a woman's scream. But as he reads, Tae Kyung's panic fades, replaced by utter confusion. This is it? The evidence is laughably weak. Enraged by his mockery, Seo-jun hurls another scroll. He demands Tae Kyung understand the gravity of his crime. Tae Kyung points out the absurdity of the evidence, infuriating his accuser. He turns to the other officials, demanding they see the truth for themselves. In a fit of rage, he hurls the papers into the air. The room is stunned into silence. He stands defiantly amidst the scattered lies. His patience has finally shattered. Lee Seo-jun watches, aghast at the disrespect. But on the floor, the fresh ink begins to run. Enraged, Seo-gyun draws his sword, ready to deliver his own justice. But Tae Kyung doesn't see a threat. He sees a clue. Suddenly, a quest appears, forcing him into a corner: fight or face the consequences. But his opponent's level is far too high. It's a suicide mission. He considers declining, willing to accept injury over certain death. But Seo-jin threatens his entire family, stopping him cold. The elders erupt in fury, condemning his insolence. Just then, another alert sounds. The stakes are raised. Declining now means all-out war. He realizes the truth. There was no choice. The game had begun. An uneasy silence falls over the hall. A commanding voice cuts through the tension, ordering them to stop. The patriarch offers Lee Seo-gun one chance to withdraw his threat. For a moment, Lee flinches under the immense pressure. But his fear turns to resolve. He will not back down. He reveals his true identity, the first son of the Mount Hang Sword sect. And he carries the full authority of his father, the sect leader. Unfazed, the patriarch calmly asks him to state his demand. Lee Seo-gin points directly at Tae-kyung. He demands the duel. All eyes turn to the third young master, whose fate is now sealed. The veil is lifted. Lee Seo-gin's true purpose is questioned. His ambition is laid bare. He demands they surrender everything. The room erupts in fury. But the patriarch's answer is a single unyielding word: no. Lee pushes for the duel, but Tae-kyung steps in, refusing to play his game. The smile on Lee's face twists into something monstrous. If not by duel, then by war. The threat hangs in the air, a death sentence for them all. A stunned silence descends upon the hall. His ultimatum delivered, Lee Seo-gin takes his leave. But for the family, the nightmare has just begun. The air was thick with tension. Lee Seo-gin's champion waited, his patience wearing thin. His hand tightened around his weapon. The refusal was an insult. But then a voice cut through the silence. Tae-kyung accepted the duel. A wave of shock and disbelief spread through the family. Even Lee Seo-gun was stunned by the sudden change of heart. But Tae-kyung's resolve was set. There was no turning back. His father cried out, pleading with him to stop. The champion sneered, beckoning him forward. It was time to finish this. And on his throne, Lee Seo-gun's surprise twisted into a cruel, knowing smile. The day of the duel arrives. In the center of the training ground, Tae-kyung faces Lee Seo-gun. The enemy clan smirks, already tasting victory. Even his allies whisper in disbelief. Has he truly lost his mind? The grim reality sets in. The power gap between them is staggering. Lee Seo-gun's killing intent washes over him, cold and sharp. Tae-kyung is frozen by pure, unadulterated fear. But a voice, filled with rage and concern, cuts through the dread. His brother is watching. With his family's eyes upon him, he finds a flicker of courage. He won't be killed. Not today. He grips his spear, focusing his mind. The plan is simple. Defend. Lee Seo-gun taunts him, questioning where a coward found the nerve to fight. But for Tae-kyung, this was the only choice. Refusing the duel meant becoming a target for everyone. Accepting it was his one chance to survive and grow stronger. His confidence is met with nothing but scornful laughter. But the mockery is cut short by a question of his own. The air turns to ice. He makes an accusation that cuts deeper than any blade. You set this all up. The accusation hits its mark. Lee Seo-gun explodes with rage. His composure shatters. He vows to tear his opponent's head from his shoulders. With a furious cry, he leaps forward, ready to kill. Tae-kyung meets the first blow. The impact is immense. A vicious flurry of strikes rains down, forcing him back. His opponent is shocked. Tae-kyung is far stronger than he looks. He mocks Tae-kyung, offering to spare his life for the price of an arm. But under the pressure, a strange confidence takes hold. Tae-kyung believes he can win this. With a deafening crash, Tae-kyung meets the blow head-on. Their weapons screech, locked in a test of pure strength. Lee Seo-gun's fury turns to disbelief. He can't overpower him. But defense isn't enough. Tae-kyung sees an opening and takes it. He smashes the end of his staff directly into his opponent's face. The crowd can't believe what they're seeing. Staggered, Lee Seo-gun reels back from the unexpected blow. A taste of blood and a wicked smile. Tae-kyung knows he can hurt him. Enraged, Lee Seo-gun unleashes his full power, a strike meant to end it all. But the killing blow stops. An unseen hand intervenes. A new challenger enters, his eyes burning with rage. Suddenly, the force holding Lee Seo-gun vanishes. His plan had been flawless. He was the hope of his sect, destined for greatness. He had accounted for everything, trapping them completely. There was no escape. But this was impossible. A foot slams into his chest, sending him crashing to the ground. The hunter has become the hunted. With a furious roar, Wee Pyong swings his massive blade. Lee Seo-gyun barely evades the lethal strike. But the assault doesn't end. Wee Pyong delivers a series of brutal, punishing blows. From the viewing box, the Azure Dragon sect can only watch in disbelief. Their disbelief hardens into fury. This humiliation will not stand. Leaping to their feet, they draw their blades and declare the match void. The spectators can't believe their eyes. This is no dream. The heir of the Mount Hang sword sect is being utterly crushed. How could this be happening? Enraged, the Azure Dragon sect erupts. Refusing to accept defeat, they declare the match void. But their insolence does not go unnoticed. In a flash, a price is paid in blood. One sect member's outrage is met with deadly intent. In an instant, he is permanently silenced. The rest are frozen in terror. A final warning is given: watch or die. As the imposing figure walks away, another observer is left stunned. He tries to speak but is immediately hushed. For his master, this bloodbath is simply entertainment. The stage is set for a new chapter. With a single, powerful clang, Wee Pyong's greatsword is sent flying from his grasp. He is left completely overwhelmed. He trembles, unable to believe the gap in their strength. Lee Seo-gyun tells him to simply give up. The fight is over. But rage takes over. He gathers his remaining ki for one final attack. He puts everything he has into a desperate charge. But his opponent meets the attack with ease. In an instant, he is stopped cold, utterly defeated. Lee Seo-gyun hesitates, but his mercy is cut short. The observer has arrived, her chilling gaze promising a violent end. With his last ounce of strength, Wee Pyong surges forward in a desperate gamble. A brutal slam is just a distraction for the real attack. A blast of pure energy. Lee Seo-gyun is thrown back, but the killing blow never landed. He dodged. Shock fills Wee Pyong's eyes. His final gambit had failed. And now, he's left completely defenseless. The desperate assault lands. One final, decisive blow. His body breaks. Lee Seo-gyun collapses. The battle is over. Stunned disbelief. The bell announces the unthinkable. And victory unleashes a flood of new power. On this day, a new legend is born. Inside Wee Pyong, something feels different. His older brother, however, is ecstatic about the victory. He commissions a grand painting to commemorate the glorious day. But the new Wee Pyong has no time for celebration. His focus has become absolute. Undeterred, his brother presents another drawing. One that captures the young master's newfound hunger for training. Even Wee Pyong is forced to admit he's surprised by his own change. The third young master is no more. In his place, a divine hawk has finally taken flight. A new legend has begun to spread its wings. But the celebration was cut short. A messenger pigeon arrived with an urgent dispatch. He unsealed the scroll, and his joy twisted into cold fury. Wee Pyong hones his skills. His movements are a blur of controlled rage. With a furious roar, he unleashes a devastating strike. But far away, his brother awakens to a world of pain. He struggles for every breath. The insignia of the Jin clan offers no comfort. His body is a prison of torment. He is moved with urgency, a precious, fragile cargo. The journey is long, and his agony is endless. Broken and humiliated, his defeat is a truth he cannot accept. His fury explodes. The sound echoes outside the carriage, alerting the guards. He awakens, swearing vengeance upon Jin Tae-kyung. He lashes out, but something strikes him from the shadows. A strange, thin needle. What is this? Suddenly he realizes he is not alone. A hooded figure emerges from the darkness. His return, the assassin explains, is a complication that cannot be allowed. The poison acts swiftly, twisting his body into a horrifying final form. A final, cruel offer is made. Before the poison finishes its work, a desperate plea for life goes unanswered. His body gives out, he dies alone. The assassin departs, leaving nothing but a corpse behind. Meanwhile, his brother seeks clarity. A deep meditation to understand his newfound abilities. He relives the brutal clash, analyzing every moment. The memory of overwhelming his foe is still fresh. He reflects on the source of his overwhelming power. Was it skill, or something else entirely? He reflects on his countless battles, confident in his hard-won skill. He knows he is strong, but a single doubt lingers. His opponent took every hit, while a single strike nearly tore him apart. It wasn't about skill. The true difference was their chi. His meditation is shattered by a barrage of system alerts. Frustrated, he demands to see his status. He looks at his chi and sees no improvement. He defeated a first-rate warrior, yet his rank hasn't changed. He screams at the injustice. A realization dawns. He must overcome the gap in their power. But to escape this game, he needs to double his chi, a crushing realization. His training yields nothing. Frustration mounts in the empty cavern. He's hit a wall, his path to power blocked. He considers shortcuts, spiritual pills perhaps? But depending on his brother is a thought he quickly discards. There is another, more dangerous option. He could consume the demonic chi he holds. The risk is immense, chi deviation, a horrifying death. But with a week of peace, his caution wanes. It's time to take the gamble. The issue of chi is settled, but what about his fame? Just then, a new notification. Rumors are spreading. The legend of the sleeping dragon has begun. His fame skyrockets. The title of Sleeping Dragon is born. That very night, the elders of the Jin family are gathered by an urgent summons. They question their young leader's sudden resolve. But they know the truth. His greatest weakness has been erased. The third young master's unexpected strength has ruined their plans. Whispers of rebellion echo through the hall, but fall silent when the acting head enters. Jin Qian takes his seat, his authority undeniable. The time for a declaration has come. A sudden realization. It can't be him. A single heavy footstep lands. The elders spring to their feet in a panic. They bow in unison to the man who just entered. The eldest senior of the Jin family has arrived. The elders' council erupted into chaos. But the head elder's stony silence held more power than any shout. Suddenly, the very subject of their debate appeared. Without a word, the old master's gaze fell upon him. An unbreakable will met an unnerved youth. The pressure was suffocating. And under that crushing intensity, Wei Pyong was the first to break. He was then reminded of a terrifying truth. This was not just the head of the family. This was his grandfather. He is given a quiet warning. Stay calm. Answer honestly. The interrogation is called to order. Jin Tae-kyung stands alone before the entire council of elders. He is called forward, the prime suspect. The acting family head begins the questioning. With a shocking accusation. Did he poison Lee Seok-yoon? Tae-kyung is utterly speechless. His mind reels. This is insane. But he knows the truth. He had nothing to do with it. Tae-kyung challenges them. He demands proof. But the elder twists the argument, placing the burden of proof on him. A deep sigh of frustration. He explodes, questioning the sheer absurdity of their logic. The council erupts at his disrespect. Suddenly, a senior elder interjects with a calm smile. He asks a simple question: how did all of this begin? The accusation is immediate. It began with the third young master. The questioning continues, a rhetorical trap. With each answer, the blame is hammered home, pointed directly at Jin Tae-kyung. The council turns on him, their accusations ringing out. The blame unanimously falls on the third young master. The senior elder observes, his silence a damning verdict. Tae-kyung sees their true faces. It's not a hearing. It's a setup. Lone voice speaks in his defense, only to be drowned out by mockery and suspicion. The debate devolves into chaos. His word means nothing to them. Then, a chilling proposal is made. To prevent war, they should simply offer his head. Rage and disbelief erupt in the chamber. But the elder is unmoved. To him, it is not murder, but a simple, brutal calculation of power. To prevent a devastating war, an elder offers up Jin Tae-kyung's life as a sacrifice. The room falls silent, but the head elder seems amused by the suggestion. He rebukes the elder's cowardice, sacrificing their own without proof. His fury is unmistakable, a rage he can barely contain. After a tense moment, he composes himself. Tae-kyung watches, completely stunned by this unexpected defense. But all eyes turn to the true authority, as the great patriarch prepares to deliver his final judgment. He laid out the truth. The poisoning was a plot. But the council was paralyzed by fear. Mount Heng's blades were already stained with blood. Their only option was to prepare for war. The great patriarch finally spoke, his gaze sweeping over them. He questioned their will to protect their own. The choice was clear: assemble for battle, or surrender family honor and become traitors. The room fell silent. The decision now rested with him. A single, slow clap echoed. The verdict was in. The air in the council room grows heavy with anticipation. A new presence arrives, the great patriarch. He approaches the one elder who stood against the others and praises him for his strength. A brief moment of respect seems to pass between them. But the patriarch's demeanor suddenly darkens. He erupts in a rage, condemning them for even thinking of sacrificing family to avoid war. Tae-kyung watches in disbelief, an unexpected ally. The great patriarch offers a different solution to unite the family. A chilling proposition. Not Tae-kyung's head, but the head of the man who defended him. The elder's mind reels. Just moments ago, he was praised for his courage. But now, he's the one to be sacrificed. The praise was a prelude to betrayal. An objection rings out. The head elder steps in, attempting to smooth things over. He dismisses the patriarch's decree as a mere slip of the tongue. The elders tremble as he continues to speak. But then, his tone shifts. In a stunning reversal, he bows, offering to take all the blame himself. The room explodes. Elders leap to their feet, crying out in protest. They beg him to stop, but one observer remains completely still. He watches their pathetic display with cold disdain. The clan elders are left to their fearful murmurs. A cold dread begins to creep in. Amidst the chaos, an opportunity is seized. They call for a new leader to guide them. A promise of strength, a vow of protection. And just like that, the entire assembly bows to a new power. Their coup is successful. A fleeting smirk confirms his worst fears. It was all a lie, a perfectly executed plan. Suddenly, the doors burst open. An urgent message arrives, right on cue. A message arrives, sealing the new leader's authority. He unfurls the scroll. It is a declaration of war. With a roar, he accepts the challenge, ordering his clan to prepare for battle. For the young warrior, the system confirms the unthinkable. The main quest has begun. A new chapter begins. At dawn, the call to arms is prepared. Messengers take flight, and riders gallop forth. The summons echoes across the land, calling every warrior of the Jin family to the main house. The mission is absolute: force the enemy to surrender or destroy them. A new quest appeared before him, a mission of war. But he was not alone. The new Lesser Lord offered him a moment of peace. He offered words of comfort. But Tae Kyung's mind was on a different problem. He questioned the true intentions of the head elder, a man whose cunning reminded him of the politicians he despised. The Lord's expression darkened. The head elder was more than just a schemer. He was one of the most dangerous men in Murim, a master manipulator who had spent decades pulling the strings from the shadows. His support was merely a mask for his true, ulterior motives. The room filled with rage. For such treachery, there could be only one punishment: death. The new leader explains his calculated inaction. But he realizes that chaos might have been the head elder's goal all along. He pushes the speculation aside, stressing the elder is still a powerful, if dangerous, ally. He gives a chilling piece of advice: be wary of the elder, but never become his enemy. But the discussion of traitors must wait. There is a more pressing crisis. Dire news arrives. The family's honor is already shattered. They are stunned. The speed of the news is unnatural. He grits his teeth. Someone is intentionally spreading these rumors to destroy them. A heavy silence fills the chamber. The final, devastating blow. Their calls for help have been met with silence. They are on their own. Isolated and abandoned, they learn only one group has answered their call for help. A response from the infamous Lower District sect. Soon after, a strange carriage is halted at the gates. Its occupants are suspicious, their purpose unclear. A mysterious woman emerges, playing games with the guard. But her entrance is less than graceful. The stern guard is instantly captivated. She reveals herself, a stunning and confident figure. Their lone ally has arrived, not for loyalty, but for payment. In the House of the Fallen, a patriarch lay slain, his eyes frozen in terror. The young lord could only ask why. With a heavy heart, he granted his father peace. Clenching the cold hand, grief hardened into a vow, a promise of pure vengeance. He would return this debt 1,000 times over, leaving his sorrow behind. He faced the army that would help him burn it all down. The cry for vengeance echoes. Today, blood will be paid with blood. But elsewhere, a crucial meeting is interrupted by an unwelcome guest. Tae Kyung knows that face. It's a ghost from his past, and he is terrified. Under his master's piercing gaze, he desperately denies knowing her. But his composure shatters. He grabs her, ordering her to get out. He desperately tries to force her out, but she won't budge. His master can only watch the bizarre scene, his patience wearing thin. But then a title is spoken. One that makes Tae Kyung's blood run cold. He's cornered, and she knows it. Level 50. The gap in their power is immense. Ignoring him completely, she calmly introduces herself to his master. The others follow suit, offering their own names. But her gaze fixes on the one person yet to speak. Under pressure, Tae Kyung has no choice but to yield. The Lord remarks on their unexpected familiarity. The branch leader offers a simple, disarming explanation. While Tae Kyung sweats bullets, she seizes command of the meeting. The formal discussion begins. The Lord wastes no time questioning her true motives. Her answer is cold and simple: profit. For her sect, this is a calculated move for maximum gain. He demands to know her price, and her opening offer is nothing short of audacious. To his subordinate's horror, the master instantly agrees. The decision is swift, for the very survival of his clan is on the line. But So Young presses him, revealing she knows of the dissent within his own family. He dismisses her warning, urging the negotiation forward. Then her demeanor completely shatters. The ruthless negotiator vanishes, replaced by a gushing admirer, leaving the men completely baffled. A bizarre display. No one can tell if it's a ploy or genuine madness. After an hour, the intense talks conclude. The terms are laid out on paper. An exchange of wealth for information and loyalty. The pact is stamped and made official. With the contract in hand, their two factions are now on the same side. With the deal struck, the alliance is sealed. A pact between the Jin family and the lower district sect is forged. The formal proceedings come to an end. So Young prepares for a quiet departure. Her allies watch as she walks away. But the quiet doesn't last long. Her eccentric personality erupts once more. She corners the young disciple, Tae Kyung, and whispers a scandalous suggestion, leaving both disciple and master blushing in shock. As the master's roar for the truth shakes the estate, a flustered Tae Kyung hastily volunteers to see So Young out, desperate to escape. Her triumphant giggle is the only answer he gets. The night was heavy, with a dreadful silence. He desperately tried to deny what his eyes were seeing. He called it a game, an illusion. But the blood, the bodies, they were all too real. A field of the dead stretched out before him. The sickening truth finally crashed down on him. Another arrived, burdened by a crushing weight, the weight of his own failure. But the elder is unmoved by his grief. This, he claims, is the simple reality of war. Lee Chin-baek, the Blade of Blood, is a man hardened by conflict. His cold detachment is unsettling. The family head pleads for respect for the dead. But the elder is relentless, promising that more death is coming. Perhaps, even as they speak. In a flash of rage, the truth hits him. The elder knew this would happen. An unbearable tension fills the air between them. He explains the grim strategy. These deaths were a necessary sacrifice. The accusation hangs in the air. He knew. But the elder offers no apology, only praise for making the right choice. The head is left speechless by the sheer cruelty. A chilling reminder of his duty. The war has just begun. Rage and grief collide within him. But he cannot deny the bitter truth. The pain forges a new resolve. He must remain focused. His transformation does not go unnoticed. An enemy in peace becomes a pillar in war. The elder's harsh lesson has been learned. The head elder approaches. He speaks of a curious rumor. The sleeping dragon. The young master freezes. The elder story is a direct accusation, disguised as a legend. The lesser family head tries to deflect, faking a chill, but his forced laughter only reveals his fear. Suddenly, the elder's true intent becomes clear. This legendary power will be used for the main family. With a single stomp, the demand is made absolute. The ground itself becomes a prison, swallowing him whole. Trapped, he faces a question that is not a request, but a sentence. The elder paused, a predator sensing his prey. His words were a carefully laid trap, and with that, his fate was sealed. A new, unavoidable quest had begun. The day of departure arrived. The head elder wanted him on the front lines, as cannon fodder. But his father fiercely opposed the plan, refusing to sacrifice his son. The compromise, leader of the reconnaissance team, a mission with an unknown price for failure. But the grim reality of war quickly set in. This was not a game. He was assigned a team of 5, a trio of nervous rookies, an overly eager kid, and an unwelcome face from his past. This was his team. He stood before them, their new leader. But from a distance, unseen eyes were watching. With the team now deployed, his father's plan was set in motion. The father's words of reassurance hang empty in the air. Suddenly, his attention is drawn to the sky. A single bird. A messenger carrying news from the front. The report is grim. The enemy is already at Zhengyang, impossible speed, and their path leads them dangerously close. They are led by the butcher known as One Strike, One Kill, Jopil. The facade of calm shatters. He screams for reinforcements. The safe mission he arranged has just become a slaughterhouse. A single, trembling word escaped his lips. The father's blood ran cold. Panic set in. Where was his son? The plan, so carefully laid, had shattered. He had just sent his own son into the jaws of death.